Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, a very good morning to you. I am Sharif Bilqi, Dean of Student Affairs and Master of Ceremonies for the occasion. I'm pleased to welcome you to the fourth commencement of Al-Akhawayn University. أصحاب السعادة أعزائنا الضيوف مرحبا بكم في حفل التخرج الرابع. اسمي شريف بلقيه، عميد الشؤون الطلابية ومقدم الحفل هذا التخرج. يبدأ الحفل بدخول هيئة التدريس لقاعة الحفل. شنو بيه؟ تدريس. يتقدمهم السادة العمداء. The deans open the procession. Now the faculty of AUI. While our faculty are being seated, I'd like to announce to you that this event is being broadcast live on the internet, so anyone you know at the other end of the world can see it live. أود الإشارة إلى أن هذا الحفل يتم نقله مباشرة عبر شبكة الإنترنت. Okay, now please join me to welcome the graduates of Al-Akhawayn University class of 2001. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Please be seated. تفضلوا بالجلوس. شكراً. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, we will open this ceremony with readings from the Holy Quran. خير ما نبدأ به حفلنا هذا آيات بينات من الذكر الحكيم يتلوها علينا الطالب رشيد بطعم.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ألم تر أن الله أنزل من السماء ماء فأخرجنا به ثمرات مختلفا ألوانها ومن الجبال جدد بيض وحمر مختلف ألوانها وغرابيب سود ومن الناس والدواب والأنعام مختلف ألوانه كذلك إنما يخشى الله من عباده العلماء إن الله عزيز غفور. إن الذين يتلون كتاب الله وأقاموا الصلاة وأنفقوا مما رزقناهم سرا وعلانية يرجون تجارة لن تبور ليوفيهم أجورهم ويزيدهم من فضله إنه غفور شكور. والذي أوحينا إليك من الكتاب هو الحق مصدقا لما بين يديه إن الله بعباده لخبير بصير. ثم أورثنا الكتاب الذين اصطفينا من عبادنا فمنهم ظالم لنفسه ومنهم مقتصد ومنهم سابق بالخيرات بإذن الله ذلك هو الفضل الكبير. جنات عدن يدخلونها يحلون فيها من أساور من ذهب ولؤلؤا ولباسهم فيها حرير وقالوا الحمد لله الذي أذهب عنا الحزن إن ربنا لغفور شكور. صدق الله العظيم.
Shukran, Rashid. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce to you the members of the Board of Trustees. أود أن أقدم لكم أعضاء مجلس أمناء الجامعة يترأسه السيد عثمان بن جلون رئيس مجلس الأمناء. The President of the University, رئيس جامعة الأخوين السيد رشيد بالمختار. The Vice Chancellor, نائب رئيس مجلس الأمناء السيد مصطفى ساهل. Counselor to His Majesty the King, مستشار صاحب الجلالة السيد Mr. André Azoulay. Counselor to His Majesty the King, مستشار صاحب الجلالة السيد عباس الجراري. His Excellency, Minister of Higher Education in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, معالي وزير التعليم العالي في المملكة العربية السعودية الدكتور خالد العنقري. His Excellency, Minister of Higher Education, معالي وزير التعليم العالي الدكتور نجيب الزروالي. A long-time friend of Morocco, صديقة حميمة للمغرب منذ زمان, Mrs. Marsha Israel Curley. السيد ممثل وزير الشؤون الداخلية, the representative of the Minister of the Interior, السيد أحمد عرفة. The President of George Washington University, رئيس جامعة جورج واشنطن بالولايات المتحدة الأمريكية, it seems everybody knows you, Dr. Trachtenberg. I don't even have to say your name. President Joseph Trachtenberg. I would like now to invite the Chancellor of the University to make his address to the class of 2001. يتفضل الآن رئيس مجلس الأمناء السيد عثمان بن جلون.
Your Excellencies, advisors to His Majesty the King, distinguished ministers, ambassadors, and President, President Ben Mokhtar, honorable members of the board, faculty and staff, graduates, and your families and friends. It is always with great pleasure, with great emotion, that the Chancellor of El Akhawain University, I have the honor to begin our graduation ceremony. In fact, the second of the millennium and the fourth commencement in the young history of our academic institution. Each year, furthermore, our graduates are proof that El Akhawain is a university of excellence, which the late King, His Majesty King Hassan II, wished, and has been pursued and supported by His Majesty King Mohammed VI, may God assist him. This morning, we have the privilege of welcoming our keynote speaker, His Excellency, the advisor of His Majesty the King, Mr. André Azoulay. It will take long hours to properly introduce our distinguished guest and dear friend, but let me just say a few words. It will be a true pleasure to listen to him evoke the essential landmarks of his personal experience and the lessons drawn from them. I would like to mention the fact that the group he founded in the 60s in favor of peace and reconciliations bear a name which perfectly sums up the values he has defended: identity and enrootment in Morocco and Essaouira, his native town. Dialogue, primarily on account of his origin and his Judeo-Moroccan culture. Tolerance, openness to others, all of which are Mr. Azoulay cardinal virtues. Beforehand, President Rachid Belmokhtar will review the university's achievements and the endeavors during this year, difficult yet very exciting, which he directed along with the Board of Trustees to fulfill the noble mission of El Akhawain. For my part, I would like to address our dear graduates to first and foremost convey to them my sincerest and heartfelt congratulations. You can be proud of your path within a unique university in Morocco and the region, built on principles which herald the university of the third millennium, the university of a fully integrated multilingualism, of a multicultural construction, a networked university throughout the world, open to its societal and economic environment. You can be proud of what you have learned. Beyond that knowledge, rest assured that the values transmitted to you, such as the faculty to learn how to learn, to love for work well done, a fundamental tolerance with respect to other cultures, not disavowing your own identity in any way, your capacity to be inventive, dynamic, and to uphold a sense of responsibility and initiative. These values, beyond knowledge in obsolescence, underlie the foundation of this university's curricula and will accompany you throughout your professional life. Indeed, what matters most are the standards you live by. One often hears much sorrow, pessimism, and melancholia regarding the future of the world or of the environment in which we evolve. You must never lose faith, for without it, without ideals, without dreams, nothing can be undertaken nor carried out. My life experience has taught me that only these values are perennial and guide our steps, no matter one's situation or field of work. Precisely, in the name of this requirement of values, which is in fact a requirement for spirituality, don't fall into the trap of defeatism. Opportunities can arise for you in Morocco or elsewhere, but keep a spiritual and intellectual tie with respect to your roots and home country. Move on to conquer new professional frontiers. Carry out your dreams. Never lose an ideal, because nothing happens unless first there is a dream. My contribution is spiritual today. In fact, today's world events and the cultural happening nearby require it. Within a few kilometers from here is taking place one of the major gatherings on spirituality through music, the Fez World Sacred Music Festival. I was particularly touched by the conference topic of our globalizing world in need of a soul. Furthermore, within this context of abundant information in terms of access through networks such as internet, we need spiritual values and ethical guidance. Education, such as the one which you have received, is precisely the most effective means to combat intolerance, obscurantism, and exclusion. I would like to conclude by illustrating this strong conviction of a need for a supplement of soul that the private Moroccan group chose to find in the name of social corporate responsibility and the essential economic role carried out. For this institution's foundation, it has been a matter of crystallizing the values I have just spoken about through an experiment of community schools in rural areas, instilling values at the source where the future citizen develops, particularly during childhood at school, forging one's roots in the land, adapting to local specificities, respecting the children's own identity and their mother languages. This is the philosophy underlying this original educational project named Medelsatcom. Dear graduates, these are words of hope and the spiritual message I wanted to convey to you in the name of a duty to share, a duty of intergenerational solidarity, so that each of us, wherever life takes us, can return a little piece of what we have received, thanks to an exceptional environment in which we have been raised in Morocco, an environment of tolerance and a certain art de vivre. We are fortunate to be in this country and to be what we are. I trust from the bottom of my heart that life will hold as many opportunities and assets for you as it has given you up to this day, enabling you to be the graduates of El Akhawain University class of 2001. May God bless you, all you present here today, and fill your future life with success and great happiness.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. سأعطي نبذة قصيرة عما قاله السيد رئيس مجلس الأمناء. قال: أنا سعيد بافتتاح هذا الحفل، الحفل تخرج الفوج الثاني في الألفية الثالثة من جامعة شعارها الجودة كما أراده لها بانيها المغفور له جلالة الملك الحسن الثاني طيب الله ثراه. وأنا سعيد أيضا باستقبال السيد أندري أزولاي مستشار جلالة الملك الذي سيلقي خطابا توجيهيا أمام الخريجين. لقد كان للمجموعة التي أنشأها السيد أندري أزولاي في الستينات صدى طيب في الدفاع عن قيم الهوية والحوار، كما يدل على ذلك اسمها، هوية تجذرها في مدينته التي هي مدينة الصويرة، وحوار نابع من ثقافته المغربية اليهودية ومبني على التسامح. في حق الطلبة قال السيد الرئيس: يحق لكم أن تكونوا فخورين بمساركم في هذه الجامعة، جامعة فريدة، جامعة تعدد الثقافات واللغات، جامعة مرتبطة مع شبكة دولية لكن متفتحة على محيطها الاجتماعي والاقتصادي. لقد تعلمتم الكثير هنا، لكن زيادة على المعرفة فقد تعلمتم القيم والقدرة على التعلم، حب، إتقان العمل، التسامح دون المس أو المساس بهويتكم. تسلحوا بالإيمان واطمحوا إلى الأفضل، فبدون طموح لا يمكن إنجاز أي شيء. لا تدعوا مجالا لليأس. سوف تتاح لكم فرص عمل داخل المغرب أو خارجه، لكن أينما كنتم حافظوا على انتمائكم لجذوركم. على بعد بضع كيلومترات من هذا المكان يقام المهرجان الدولي للموسيقى الروحية بمدينة فاس، والذي اتخذ كشعار له إعطاء روح للعولمة. كمثال على هذه الروح التي يجب أن تصاحب التطور الاقتصادي، يقوم مجموعة بنكية ببناء مدارس في العالم القروي الذي هو مشروع مدرسة .com، وهذه بضع النصائح التي أعطاها السيد رئيس مجلس الأمناء للطلبة، وشكرا. Thank you. Now the President of the University, Mr. Rashid Belmokhtar.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, dear parents, dear students, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like on behalf of all components of Al Akhawain University to extend a very warm welcome to you all. Distinguished guests, parents and students, I also would like to express my sincere thanks to you all for having so kindly accepted to honor Al Akhawain University in France with your presence. Special thanks are due to those who came from far to join us. Member of the Board of Trustees, Minister of the Government of His Majesty the King, the higher-ranking officers, a group of alumni of the French prestigious School of Engineering, Institut National Agronomique, and what a good surprise, too, and great pleasure and honor to have with us today Mr. Randy Weston, the famous jazz man, a friend of a friend, where he composed a masterpiece in the 60s, I remember, called Ifran. So thank you very much for being with us today. I would also thank warmly all who have contributed in making this ceremony a very special event. On the occasion, my heart and my wishes go to our graduating students, whose achievement is being celebrated today, and my congratulations go to their parents and to our faculty. Our students deserve to be congratulated on seeing a number of long years and many days and nights of hard work, perseverance, and determination being finally rewarded today. With your diplomas in your hands, you will now have to face new challenges, namely those stemming from your entering a turning point in your life and your anticipated exposure to a professional world in which excellence and performance are the only valid criteria. You will have, as of now, to make the right choices and take the right decisions that will determine your future. Congratulations are also in order for the parents of our students on the sacrifice they have made to ensure the education and the future of their children. Today, you parents can legitimately be proud of the result reached after all those many years of abnegation and self-denial. I can understand and appreciate the fact that the pride you feel as you realize the fulfillment of your duties vis-à-vis your child is legitimate. I finally would like to congratulate our faculty and staff, who also are legitimately entitled to feel the same kind of pride and satisfaction. In fact, the success of the students we honor today translates also the success of our faculty and staff in the mission assigned to them. As we engage in celebrating these fourth commencements, it is appropriate to remind ourselves that our university has a particular mission and has been conceived of by its founders on the basis of a particular set of principal tenets. As we reiterate here our full commitment to those missions, principles and tenets, I would like to highlight the presence among us today of His Excellency Dr. Khalid Al-Angari, Minister of Higher Education in the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and member of the Board of Trustees of our university. His presence with us is a great honor because it is the first of its kind among all past commencements. It reminds us of the spirit of the Al-Akhawain, the two brothers, who assembled their good intention and energy to found this institution, namely His Majesty the late King Hassan II and the custodian of the two holy mosques, His Majesty King Fahd ibn Abdulaziz. Both of them wanted this institution to be an illustration of the friendship and brotherhood between the two people and the two countries. His Majesty King Mohammed VI has nurtured this legacy and reinforced this friendship, and Al-Hawaii University will always remain faithful to this founding principle. It's why last year he appointed two new members in our board, namely Mrs. Marsha Curley Israel and Dr. Joel Trachtenberg. Ladies and gentlemen, dear parents, dear students, today we are gathering to honor a total of 177 students who have managed to complete their study either in the summer and fall semesters of the year 2000 or during the spring semester, which have just ended last May. Allow me to provide you with some key facts and figures related to this class of 2001. It is worth noting, first, the gender distribution of our graduating students population this year. It reveals that 44.5% among them are females. True. True. This is a little bit less than the half of the total. But nevertheless, we are not so far from it. This quasi-equality in number between males and females deserves to be noted for its highlights that in this respect, Al-Hawaii University fulfills perfectly its mission. On the other hand, as this has become a common feature, the majority of our students today are undergraduates. They represent 73.5% of the total number of the class. Finally, and in conformity with the distribution of the students by school at Al-Hawaii University, 105 of the 177 students, that is 59.3% of the total, belong to the School of Business Administration. 61 out of 177, that is 34%, are graduating from the School of Science and Engineering. And the rest, 11 students, that is 6.2% of the total, are graduating from the School of Humanities and Social Science. This number is rather small. However, please allow me here to say that this low percentage will soon be addressed thanks to the new 3 programs which the school inaugurated 2 years ago, namely International Studies and Diplomacy, Communication, and Human Resource Development. Dear graduate students, your university is doing well, implementing the strategy of excellence that our board decided 2 years ago. We have new programs, new projects, new centers. Our image is a very good image. And we have more and more brilliant and talented and entrepreneurial students. Our research programs are expanding, and new centers are underway. I think that you can be proud of your institution, as I am proud of you. As president of Al-Hawaii University, I seize the opportunity of this ceremony to remind you all that from now on, you are the ambassador of your university. As such, you ought to live up to this status. Here are but a few pieces of advice for you with this respect. You should remember that even with diplomas, you should not consider yourselves to have crossed the finishing line. In fact, knowledge never ends. Learning is literally unlimited. It is never fixed, but rather is a constant movement. Knowledge and learning are permanent processes which take place as long as life goes on. In fact, reaching today the end of your studies in the university heralds the beginning of studies of another nature. Most of you will engage in the professional life. This commitment goes hand in hand with obligation for you to respect the spirit of your being an AUIer. It is therefore essential for you to remember those notions such as honesty, abnegation in the workplace, spirit of initiative, and sense of personal responsibility that this university has placed at the forefront objective of your education. Knowledge is nothing without the capacity to transform it into actions and projects. I would even go as far as to say that these principles start being more necessary now, at the end of these studies. You are urged to never lose this vision to show your belonging to this university forever. I shall insist, taking into consideration the present context of Morocco, on the notion of responsibility. This notion should in fact mean the commitment to altruism and to patriotism. Altruism here is the obligation to share one's knowledge, one's know-how, and even one's assets. Patriotism is the obligation of gratefulness to one's family, who itself appertain to a social environment which is a part of the motherland. Our country, Morocco, which needs more than ever before all his professionals. You are called to work perseveringly and with devotion to the well-being of this country and its development, under the leadership of His Majesty King Mohammed VI.